Welcome back to another edition of Zero Block 30. We are happy to be back from the break, and we have some changes to the show. We've been doing rounds for a while. We're going to switch some things up, so we want to hear from you and see how you like some of these new segments that we're going to do, and here they are.
We're going to be miming the show from now on.
Yeah, it'll be really good, and that's the only way we can get you fuckers to the YouTube channel. So here's what we got today.
Can you name the top 10 strongest nations in the world? We will see if Kate and Cons can manage, but honestly, Chaps doubts it.
This show is sponsored by Betterhelp. When you're at your best, you can do great things. But sometimes life gets you bogged down and you may feel overwhelmed, or you're not showing up in the way that you want to. Working with a therapist can help you get closer to the best version of you. Because you feel empowered, you are more prepared to take on everything life throws at you. I've been in therapy for a long time, and it's really helped me out just by knowing the coping skills. I've been talking to a therapist, and when I get anxious or when I'm feeling depressed, she gives me the different things that I could do to pop out of that little funk that I'm in, and it's been really helpful. I've been using Betterhelp for, I think, about a year and a half, maybe even 2 years at this point, and it's been great. If you're thinking of giving therapy a try, Betterhelp is a great option. It's convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/0 today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's visit betterhelp.com/0 to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/0. All right, first topic of the day. I'm sure you guys remember over the last year where different politicians were kind of taking shots at the U.S. military by saying, we need to be just like this group. Look at these crazy recruiting videos that these folks have. They're running through the jungle with their M16. Like, they're doing all kinds of stuff like that. The Chinese are building up their navy. Soon they're going to have the biggest navy in the world. The Indians are doing certain things where they're trying to the Japanese are back on the Security Council. All kinds of things are happening. But we host a military podcast, so I feel like people come to us for military experience, military ideas, but I want to show people maybe don't. Maybe don't, because I have some intel ideas, just real basic Homeland Security stuff that I want to ask you. Maybe the most basic that we could have. So between you two, if you've done the dozen, if you've played the dozen or listened to the dozen, you know that there's like a rapid fire game where you have to list 5 of the top different restaurants or whatever, like the top 20 different internet sites of 2020. I want to see if you guys can name the top 10 from the U.S. World Reports, the top 10 strongest militaries in the world by country together. See if you guys can do it.
Ooh, well, I know Costa Rica is not one of them because they do.
Costa Rica is not. No, good call.
They do not have. They don't have a military.
No, not one at all.
So that's not the one.
No,
I'm gonna go.
Let's not do countries that it's not, because we can go for.
I think that list would be a lot longer.
Trinidad and Tobago actually didn't make the list either.
I'm gonna
Iceland.
All right, first real guess. Who do we got?
China. We got China.
That's right. Hold on. China. I'll tell you, if you get one right, I'll tell you where it ranks. So that might give you some clue. China, number 2 overall.
Okay.
The U.S.?
The UK.
Yes, the U.S. is number 1. The UK is number 5. So we got 1, 2, and 5.
India.
India, not on the list.
Australia,
not on the list.
Israel
on the list. Israel comes in at number 10.
Pakistan.
Germany comes in. Good job, Cons. That one's number 4.
Is Pakistan on there?
Pakistan's not on there, no. But they do have a strong military. You're right. They do.
Poland.
Japan came in at number 8. Good job, Catherine. Poland not on the list.
I don't know enough countries.
I know
Europe.
the listeners are screaming like, this name.
Can you give us, Canada. Oh,
Canada. Not on the list. No.
Your maple
all right, so how about I give you...
flowing.
Do you guys want to me to tell you what continent these are in?
Yes. Love a good guess.
Okay, so one of them
No. Give me a fun clue.
Did we say Philippines? Did we say the Philippines?
Philippines not in there.
Give me a fun clue.
A fun
like a movie or a food.
All right. So Kate says a line from this country every year around Christmas time.
Hold on to your butts.
That's not it.
What island was Jurassic Park on? Malakaliki Maka. Not Hawaii.
Not it,
New
no.
Zealand? New Zealand?
No, New Zealand's not on the list. Nope.
Line from what movie? What's the movie?
Home
Wait.
Alone.
Oh, Home Alone.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck with the... Oh, France.
France,
France,
that's
yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah.
Don't. Is
I was
what
gonna
we're
say-
French call Les Incompetents.
number 7. France is number 7.
Turkey? Turkey? Is Turkey
Turkey
there?
not on the list. That's a great guess, though, because Turkey does have a strong military as well.
Give us another fun guess.
All right, another fun. They love chuhai. Is a drink that is consumed there. It's called chuhai, and it's a wine that has either berries or something like that.
South Korea.
South Korea. Nailed it, Kate, at
Nice.
number 6
Yay.
overall. Next, I don't think there's a chance in fucking hell that you guys get number 9. I don't think so. But number 3 has essentially been disproven. This was all gathered in 2021. So who do you think?
Russia.
Russia, yeah.
It's number 3
Not as
there.
strong. Bit of a straw man.
If you guys get within the same region as the next one, I'll be shocked.
Funky clue, please.
Funky clue. I don't know if I could give a funky clue without giving this one away. I'm not sure
Funky
if I can.
clue. Funky
Off the top
clue.
of my head, too.
Ooh.
One
Wait.
of these, this country is
Spain?
known for having indoor skiing.
Oh,
Dubai.
that's...
Yeah. What is the country, though?
United Arab Emirates.
Nailed it. Number 9. That's number 9, right?
Indoor
Crazy.
skiing. I did not realize they
No,
had
That's a good clue.
Never known. Yeah, some of the other ones that surprised me, Kate, pretty good. Canada came in at number 12. Cons, I believe you said India. They were number 13.
No, Kate said India, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
number 13, which is the most. They're going to be in the next few years. They'll be the most populous country in the world, while also having their population dwindle, which is pretty odd. I don't know how they're doing that. Italy 15, Australia 16, Turkey 17. Iran comes in at number 18. You know what's pretty? I was thinking about today when I was doing that little list. It's shocking how much we don't talk about South American militaries. Like
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know a fucking thing about any military from South America, like at all.
Well,
I know that like the Colombians and Brazil do a lot of like drug interdiction, and there's
that's what I was going to say. I think they're so
factions
focused on just battling with cartels, and they're just, dealing with all the mess that's going on down in South America, that they don't get involved in things going on internationally. So I think that's probably part of the reason why we don't hear about them as much.
Totally agree. So before we end this segment, I'll tell you once again the top 10. Sorry, we'll do it the David Letterman. Number 10, Israel. Number 9, UAE. Number 8, Japan. 7, France. 6, South Korea. 5, United Kingdom. 4, Germany. 3, Russia. 2, China. 1, the United States. Pretty good.
I'm shocked by France. I don't
I
know
know.
why I'm shocked by that, but I am.
But I will say
people
another...
always say they're cowards, and I don't
Yeah.
think
Man.
that's true.
They've caught a
You
bad
know what
rap.
I'd love to do? To go back in time, if I could do a barracks party at each of these countries. Like in France, are
Oh,
they drinking
man.
wine or are they crushing Natty Light in the barracks?
Kind of like
what is,
Epcot, where it's like barracks around the world.
if honest to God, if they could do a barracks around the world and I could smoke a cigarette at each one
See
and
which
just get the
smoke fits the
scuttlebutt
best. Yeah.
and see the similarities, the differences, I would love that.
And if you went to the South Korea barracks, you get to hang out one of the K-pop boys that are over there.
True. I will say I do like that a lot of that top 10 are allies of ours.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think the only
Yeah.
one that's not would be, I would say, Russia probably on that list, because even UAE is, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah. Good work for us. That's pretty nice.
As a veteran, we sleep like Navy SEALs, and if you don't, you are probably a tired, unkempt loser.
One of the things that we make fun of a ton on this show is people say things are military grade, and people think that that means good. And any military idea, people really think it's a good idea and it's going to work. I disagree. I think that basically everybody who's been in the military would disagree. Right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, military grade is a very common misconception because military grade means it went to the lowest
The
bidder.
lowest bidder,
The
that's
person
right.
who came to the government and said, I can make this the cheapest for you. And the government's like, sure, fuck it up, man.
I mean, I know we always go back to it. I think the submarine thing is the perfect example for that, where they build a $10,000 controller and all they needed to do was go buy something from Xbox. Like military grade means you went way above and beyond, and there was no reason for you to do that. Or it means it's just going to fall apart. Like it's going to fall apart quickly.
Yeah.
But some of the things
cool.
are actually good. And I think whenever people leave the military, I no longer have this ability. Cons, I think you said you have. The ability to fall asleep right away in any condition, under any circumstances. You have that still?
Absolutely, especially if I'm tired. I use this on planes all the time. It's great. It's like time travel. You get on the plane, you sit down, get comfortable, boom, you wake up, you're in your new location. I think it's the best when traveling, but yeah, I am very adept at sleeping just about anywhere.
But is that something you developed in the military, or did you always just have that? Because some people just always have that.
That's a great question. I think maybe that was partly just something I had, and then it was honed in the military. Because,
like leadership skills.
Yeah, exactly.
You had some leadership skills, but it was honed at West Point.
So here's the thing. It never occurred to me growing up, like, hey, man, you should go see if you could just sleep outside for no reason whatsoever. And then you get to the military and you're forced into that situation. You're like, wow, that was actually pretty easy. So I think I expanded my repertoire in the military. But, yeah, I was always pretty good about sleeping.
Kate, you?
Yeah, it does help you to think like, well, if I could sleep in the dirt in Afghanistan on a freezing night, then I can sleep, I can find a way to shut my brain off and sleep tonight kind of thing. It's like the military helps in ways that, like, I've done this hard thing, so I can do this hard thing too. I definitely think too, people don't realize how much downtime you have in the military, how much hurry up and wait time. And if there's no hip pocket classes or anything for you to do, your command doesn't really care if you're in a long line at supply. If you're all leaning against your bag sleeping, like, nobody gives a fuck for the most part.
Right.
And so you learn to sleep and nap pretty much anywhere.
So we kind of want to just run through. I want to run through some of these things that this fella named Johnny Brown, which that might be the perfect name for some shit like this, where they take military thing or what they believe as military principles. I want to see if this would work for you guys. So we're gonna run through it. He says that you can fall asleep in 2 minutes. So I kind of want to see if you guys would fall asleep in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is a tweet that went super viral, over 80,000 likes. And this guy, Johnny Brown, he studies health habits and high performance as an entrepreneur. And I think a really hot thing right now for these dude bro entrepreneurs is to be like, this thing's tied to the
camps,
military. Like
we've told, like people getting screamed at and yelled at.
Yeah.
Paying to go to the big boy boot camps is like whatever.
If you
and so
waterboard, you'll be so good at accounting.
Well, and
So
we're not
really-
talking about it today, but we also need to discuss that new show on television. It's like Special Forces, where they took all like the celebrities and put them through that.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that at a later date, but it's the
Like
same
Richard
concept.
Simmons is out there seeing if he can low crawl with a skull drag.
Yeah.
He's doing all kinds of stuff. All right, here it is. Johnny Brown says how to fall asleep in 2 minutes or less with the military method.
And that's capitalized, military method.
That's exactly
Okay.
right. So number one.
TM.
So I want to see if this. So if you're driving down the road, I want you to close your eyes and really imagine what we're about to do. See if it will make you fall asleep.
And wait, he says this technique was developed by U.S. Navy pilots.
Oh, well,
Okay,
that's
though
how
I
you-
feel like I've heard this at the end of my yoga classes.
Right, I think it's like progressive.
So
sleep
maybe it's not
something,
that,
or
but
like
whatever. Okay.
All right, number one. You guys close your eyes too.
Okay.
Number one, relax your face and imagine the scanner going across your entire body, starting at the top, relaxing every muscle fiber in your face, including your tongue and your cheeks. Make sure your jaw is unclenched. Slowly close your eyes and take slow, deep breaths. Where are we at so far? We're feeling relaxed?
I'm
Is that
almost
for-
asleep.
Yeah, that was incredible. I mean, if you had this is what you should do with your battle buddies. Like, if your battle buddy's feeling a little down, just help him fall asleep or her fall asleep. Number two, close your eyes again.
Okay.
Release the tension in your shoulders, arms, and hands. You should feel your shoulders sink into your bed. Move down through your biceps, forearms, fingers, relaxing every muscle along the way. Continue your deep breathing. It's crucial for this to work. Kate, where are you at right now in terms of sleepiness scale?
I'm wide awake.
Oh, you're wide awake.
Terrible
Cons is fucking
news.
passed out back there.
Cons is out, dude. He's already done.
Nick's probably not taking
Yeah.
notes. He's probably good. He needs to because he has a baby coming, so he needs to do all that stuff.
Step 4, let your mom boobs really dangle. Let them dangle way down to your belly button.
See how long. See if you can tuck them into
They
your
are
trousers.
completely flat like 2 old beaver tails at
Get
this
your
point.
titties in
You
a
just
gig
let
line.
them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, number 3. Relax your chest and stomach. We carry a lot of tension in our chest, back, and abdomen without even realizing it. When you exhale, make sure you're completely relaxing through your abdominal muscles. Starting with your right thigh, start relaxing your legs just as you did your arms.
This is getting hot.
Scan down your legs and let the tension leave your calf, ankle, and foot. Repeat on the left leg. Pretty good. Everybody's feeling real relaxed.
I like to leave one leg awake as a former military member in case I gotta run.
And what?
I'm not sorry. I'm not falling for this, China. I'm not turning off both my legs.
And what's tied to your
Crazy?
leg?
Your feet.
That's true, okay? Cons, what else?
Your hips? I don't know.
No, your weapon. Your weapon's
Oh,
always
yeah.
tied to your leg. Where you
Tied
had
to
it-
your leg.
had
That's
it
right.
wrapped through the old sling with only one
Okay.
shoe off. Did you guys have to do one shoe off at a time? Where you weren't allowed
No.
to do... If we were actually in a house, like on missions and you're in rest time, you were only allowed to take one shoe off at a time.
Why take any of them off? Just leave them on. Like,
Yeah.
untie, you can
If
untie
you're out
them.
there for several days, like you have to let your feet air out some,
True.
but you're only
Yeah.
allowed to do one at a time. And the doc would come by and make sure that you had them on like one at a time so you were ready to go. Although
Yeah.
they should make slip-on boots. Like I know the Converse had it with like the zipper that will go upside.
Yeah.
Let's move
Yeah.
on to number 5. Now your
Crocs,
entire
military.
body is relieved of tension. It's time to do the same with your mind.
Don't
Imagine
let out a fart.
Exactly right. Imagine yourself lying surrounded by total darkness. If you struggle with this, just repeat, don't think in your head. It really works. And that's the
There's a
military
big
method. That's it.
There's a big time spiraler. That don't work for me.
No, you get caught. How is
Yeah.
that remote? I mean, that's what every yoga class is. Kate's right. Like
That's
that's
how every yoga class ends. Is that at the very end? That's my favorite part of the class.
it's
They're
the-
like, lie
what
down
is it?
on your
What-
mats, and they tell you.
What do they call it? The Havasana? Something?
But
Yeah,
it's
something like that.
I will say,
I haven't practiced yoga in a lot of years, but yeah, something like that.
Oh, practice. That's like kind of, I like
It
that.
is, yeah.
Yoga
What's
practice,
up?
medicine practice. I want my doctor not to be practicing medicine. I want them to be doing it well.
To know it.
I want it to be a game type medicine. That's what
I
I
do
I
think
just-
visualization helps, though.
It does.
I do
but it has
believe this
nothing to
method.
do with the military.
Nothing
Does
at
work, but
all.
you're right.
I'm just laughing though,
No.
because all right, so he tweeted this thread on December 22nd. I'm just picturing somebody going over their parents' house or friend's house, whatever, for Christmas. Like, oh, I started using the military method to fall asleep. You guys don't use that? You don't know about that? And it's like,
What a
no, dude, I
loser.
just go to sleep at night.
Because I can see if this guy was like, "Hey guys, here's some mindfulness yoga tips." People be like, "Hell no, brother, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that bullshit. That whatever."
That's for
But if you
pussies.
call it
We
the
don't do
military
yoga.
method,
Yeah, you
then
slap
maybe-
military method on it, like, oh, you guys hear about this military method?
therapy.
Well, if
Military
the Navy
therapy.
guys do it, it's okay for me to do it. Then
Yeah.
I guess.
Bunch
Then
of
it's not
dudes
gay.
Just go
Yeah.
in. They do so much therapy
Yeah.
it'll make your fucking head spin.
Yeah,
They're doing
yeah.
all kinds of exposure therapy. They're doing
Yeah.
DBT. They're doing things we never even heard about. Mm-hmm. It's the military way. Military therapy. All right.
Woke of the week, James Cameron and his despicable behavior.
Did you guys see the new Avatar movie that came out? Did you watch it?
No.
in the
Hell
theater?
no.
No.
Hell no.
Cons, I would have thought you would as a big movie guy. You don't like blue
No,
people?
I'm not into those. I'm not into those. I'm not into DC, the DC universe, any of those.
Me
For
neither.
whatever reason, they just never caught me.
And I'm the same way, but like the people who liked the original Avatar fucking loved it. There was people getting their whole bodies tattooed blue,
Oh.
and yeah, there's still cosplayers who go to like the furry conventions or whatever, but it's like you're all Avatar people. It like
It's the
people
same
fucking
though. Like,
loved that shit.
did.
yeah, the people who are big into DC universe or big into Harry Potter, they look down their nose if you say, "Oh, I have no interest of seeing those." Like, "Oh, you just don't get it." Oh, okay, all right, fine. I just not my
That's the
interest.
same way
but-
you are with college football versus the NFL.
Oh, but that's true. That's accurate.
See,
Come
we
on.
all have
Come
those
on.
things.
Wait.
We all have those things. Yes, Kate?
They also, have you guys ever heard of PADS? PADS?
No.
No.
No, I'm talking about period dads. It was called post-Avatar depression syndrome because people were feeling so sad after they watched the movie that they were like traumatized.
Like it's that sad? Like the movie's sad,
Like-
or that it's over?
No, like that they wanted to, like we'll never live in that paradise that they lived in, and we
up.
ruin all our paradises. Like people were, they called it PADS, like from the original, but like that's how into that universe that people got on the first one.
Just
so
go watch
everyone,
Fern Gully. It's the same thing.
yeah. Everyone though who super cared about the movie was like buzzing about this one, The Way of the Water. What is it, Avatar but underwater? I don't know.
Right, like the World of Water or some shit like that, the World of Blue,
Yeah.
or whatever it is. But this movie, it's the first one, the highest grossing film of all time. Like that is,
Was it?
yeah. And if you have this, you looking at that movie, all the people that are in the end games, you could name like a half of those people, like the Marvel characters or the DC characters, whatever. Every other major movie, Titanic, you could say like who the people in Titanic were. If you ask 95% of the people in the country, name one character from Avatar,
Nope.
there's not a chance that anyone can do it. It's
No
Zoe
idea.
Saldana
bizarre.
is the only one I know, right?
Who?
The main.
Sigourney
Zoe
Weaver,
Saldana-
right? And she
Zoe Saldana is a girl, but I don't know who any of the dudes were. Don't know their names. Don't know nothing.
was that the character's name or the person's name?
And remember, the one guy's a Marine. I don't
Okay,
know
was
his
it
name.
the character or the person?
Zoe Saldana is very famous. She's a famous woman, but she was the blue lady, the main
Right,
blue
that's what I
lady.
mean. Even the characters, you don't know who the character's
No,
name is.
because they had weird
Oh,
names.
no.
across the
Yeah.
board. So even though that's the most,
We better
highest-
not let Avatar Twitter hear about this because they're going to
yeah,
come for
we'll
our
be
necks,
getting
pal.
absolutely roasted. So people have been waiting like 10 years or 11 years, something like that, for the new one to come out, and it's absolutely crushing. Avatar's The Way of Water broke $1.4 billion over the weekend, and so far the film has earned 421.
Oh, no.
What?
That's how much that's to
Oh,
break
yeah, that's the
even. That's how
break-even
much they
point.
have to
And
make.
it
Yeah,
global
that's how
stands
much
at-
it cost.
Right. Globally, it stands at 1.38 billion. So they've almost made their money back with the new highest grossing film of all time, which is crazy that it achieved that so quickly, too. Right?
I think one thing that's crazy, like my baby dad, Pat, he works on the production end of films, and even on smaller films, to get movie companies and other investors to put faith in your idea, to give money to something where there's no guarantee they're going to get it back, and they just have to hope the vision is work. That's even tough on a smaller film, to be like, hey, listen, I know it's easier with Avatar and James Cameron's name and everything,
Yeah.
but to be like, I need $1.4 billion of the B. Trust me on this. We're going to make it back. And to be like,
I think
okay,
when
fuck.
James Cameron, you got to do it, though. I mean, if he
Yeah,
says he
yeah,
wants
yeah,
to
yeah.
He's earned the benefit of the
doubt.
doubt. Yeah.
but there have been movies that have completely flopped, that were supposed to
Oh,
be
yeah.
huge, that have completely flopped and lost like hundreds of
Waterworld,
millions
I
of
believe,
dollars.
is one of
Yeah.
those, like, where it was-
Waterworld?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Costner.
Shut up.
Because
Yeah.
he was coming off the heels of Dances with Wolves, where he directed
That
and
movie's
acted.
a classic.
It's a classic, but it was a box office bust.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways, so what I wanted to talk about today, James Cameron, even though he's done the Titanic, Waterworld, and now these Avatar movies and a bunch of other movies that people love, he's not getting away because we have a new segment alert. Woke of the Week. And wouldn't you
Oh.
know, the first woke mind, that dastardly James Cameron himself. Why? Cultural appropriation. One
People are
reason.
saying he's not woke.
Oh yeah,
He's
he's not woke.
anti-woke.
Well, he's woke and not woke at the same time.
Go
We'll read
on.
why. Kate, what's going on here?
All right, so this was tweeted out by, and I was scrolling my TikTok and I was seeing people start to complain about this new Avatar and a couple tweets, and I was like, wait, what? I don't know. Normally I'm like, my dad calls me a commie. I'm pretty
Right.
bleeding lefty vibes or whatever. And even I was like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah, this whole thing is
so
basically
film
if you're so woke, you need a nap. Like, there's certain people out there
Yeah.
that every single thing has to be done exactly the right way. And if you don't say, like, there is a list that came out from Stanford University where they no longer want people to refer to themselves as American, but a U.S. citizen is what they want
What?
to say. or they're from the United States, not that they're American. This list is fucking crazy. Of what people
Lee
wanna
Greenwood's gonna hate
do.
that.
Oh yeah, you
My
gotta switch
goodness,
up
and
all
I'm
the
proud to
songs.
be
Yeah.
a U.S. citizen.
Because they said that it's not inclusive to South America or Central America or
Well, I think-
Canada or
but wouldn't-
Mexico. It's like we're the United States, dude. Like when you're the
Okay.
top military that we talked about early, we get to pick what.
Yeah.
American,
Exactly.
Yeah,
goddamn
we're
it.
fucking American.
We lay claim to America.
Yeah, we got a bald
Well-
eagle as a fucking not a mascot, right?
This tweet by
Symbol?
Kathia Woods, she's a film critic. She tweeted this, and there was a lot of other people echoing her sentiment. At some point, we got to talk about the cultural appropriation of Avatar, and white actors are cosplaying as people of color. It's just
Blue
a mess,
people.
and so not necessary. Blue people.
Yeah.
It's just a mess. It's not like the whole film was like Rachel Dolezal's. Okay. It's
Right.
not like Avatar, but with Rachel Dolezal.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just a mess and so not necessary, and no amount of visual effects CGR is going to erase that. Jesus, fix it. So, European conservative contributor Alberto Miguel Fernandez said about Woods' critique, assume this is a parody account. James Cameron is culturally appropriating because he didn't hire blue people? And even worse, when you learn that the original script for Avatar was written by decidedly non-blue Cameron.
It's a good point.
It's true.
Yeah. Only 9-foot-tall blue aliens can play 9-foot-tall blue aliens in movies,
Disgusting,
apparently.
yeah.
Radio host Dan O'Donnell joked. So, yeah, I feel like, come on. And, like, I feel like you have
And
to
this
know
is
being...
like it's a both sides thing. This is like a legit both sides thing because people are upset on both sides of the aisle. The right is saying that this is an incredibly woke movie that essentially attacks the U.S. military. There was, in fact, a Marine colonel when the first one came out that said because there was the disabled veteran that was in there, that he was in the wheelchair, they said it's a attack on what's going on in Iraq and Afghanistan and a shot at all service members because Avatar. And this is a legit Marine colonel. It was written in 2009 in the Marine Times.
I remember that.
Here's what he said. Let me find it. This quote, here it is. Avatar takes a sophomoric shot at our military culture and uses the lore of the Marine Corps and the over-top stereotyping of Marine warriors to set the context for the screenplay. This does a disservice to our Corps of Marines and the public's understanding of their beloved Corps. Let's view Avatar for what it is. A leap in the wizardly drama of cinema, a digital fantasy and a vehicle for a filmmaker to make a statement, but not emblematic of the Marines who fight honorably to fall and win and are ready to face our nation's battles. Imagine pinning that.
God.
Imagine it.
Yeah, and others have said it's anti-American, anti-capitalist, anti-blah, blah, blah, which I'm sure whatever. I'm sure there's themes to it, or whatever, but, like, dude, just watch the movie and enjoy the blue people goofing around. Like, I don't know. But then again, that's the fun of the movies is feeling something about it, though, isn't it?
No, but also, too, like, why can't you just take it for what it is on its surface? You don't need to go deeper than it's just 9-foot-tall blue people, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe James Cameron, super creative dude, just said, you know what might be neat? 9-foot-tall blue people. And
Yeah.
that
Why
was
did you
where it
draw
ended for him.
Why did you draw the duck blue, James?
Yeah,
Cameron?
exactly.
I wanted to see a blue duck.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
reason why.
Like
all right.
Too many people, I think, wake up. I'm sorry. Too many people wake up in the morning and they're like, "What do I want to be angry about today?" And if you try hard enough, or in today's day and age, I don't even think you have to try that hard. You could find something to be angry about, and I think that's a perfect example of what's going on here.
So the woke person of the week this week, Avatar. Let's move on to save rounds and alibis. Today we'll start with you, Nick. What do you got?
Save round for me. Just happy to be back. I felt that New Year's was pretty good this year. Not really much, just looking forward to 2023 and all that it has to bring.
Because what's it bringing? Any day now?
The good family is getting greater, you could say, because we're going to be
The
adding.
squad is expanding.
Yeah, we're going to be adding one, so I'm very excited.
You're a full fire team soon.
Full fire team,
Wow.
so I'll be out and about for a little bit here on the ZBT crew, but very excited. I've been trying to get as much sleep as I could recently just to make sure that I can bank as much, but I'm really excited for the Good household to
Quick military crossover. Let's see. Kate, you've been involved with both. Which one do you think is filled with greater anticipation? having a baby or leaving a deployment?
Ooh, having a baby's great and all, but leaving a deployment, you're like, I'm gonna get Dominoes. I'm gonna
have
get
some
all
sex. You
my
can't
mom's
do
gonna
that
make
for
the
6
brownies
weeks.
I like.
Yeah.
I might get finger blasted. I don't know.
They give
Possibilities.
A couple South Carolina or North Carolina squeezers over at Camp Lejeune.
Yeah, babies are cool. Don't get me wrong, but boy, oh boy, coming up, people holding signs. It's
It
very
feels pretty
exciting.
good. Yeah, there's no
But
yellow
congrats
ribbon
to
on
you
the
though,
tree.
Nick.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what if he came home? You come home from a deployment due to a baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
That's a
like, I
great.
feel like
That's a double whammy. Great
Yeah.
feeling.
just the way
Or
timing
terrible.
with the way deployments
Depends
work,
on
like
if you knew about it.
yeah, I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. Wouldn't you already have known about that going into the deployment? So
Depends on if you were gone for a year or not.
true, true.
You would never hear the end of it because if you're the pregnant partner, like whenever you're deployed, dude, you've been away for so long, like the whole pregnancy, you will never hear the end of that for the remainder of your natural life.
As you should.
As you should,
Because
yeah.
you know what's a deployment? Being pregnant.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a deployment
Excellent
with
point, Catherine.
you don't have leg cramps and back cramps and whatever the entire time you're deployed.
Just cramps,
shall I
yeah.
say. Just cramps, a lot of cramps. Anyway, congrats, Nick. Very exciting.
congrats,
Thank you.
Cons, what about you? How was your break, bud?
It was great. Mostly uneventful, but I will say like two things. Number one, I really, really hope we can find a house in 2023 because I want to be able to host Christmas because going places on Christmas, I'm just over it. I guess I just took that for granted my whole life growing up. Like we were just always at our house, and then you get older and you get a spouse and you realize you got to balance between two families, and it's just not as relaxing.
Selfishly, I need you to get a house so you can get a small yard so that in the summer I can be like, do you mind if we come over and put the little baby pool out?
Yeah,
Can we
absolutely.
like
So
use
you don't
your
have to do
driveway
it
to
on
draw
your balcony anymore.
on my balcony anymore? A little nude baby running around
Yeah.
for the whole town to see.
No,
Yeah.
I support that. And then the other
Selfishly.
thing, I think for all of us and most people as you get older, like Christmas becomes less about gifts and more about just spending time. Obviously, if you have young children, there's gifts are part of that. But as adults, you're not really like doing big gift exchanges. So this year, when my younger sister broke out Bruce Springsteen tickets for the whole fam,
Wow.
she won Christmas. She won
Any
I
of
bet
Christmas.
the
those
with
living
moments.
room was going crazy.
Any of those moments like Dad's been a Phillies fan his whole life and they're going to
Yeah.
the World Series so somebody weeps? Was that
Yes.
you, Cons? Did you weep?
I wept. I wept underneath my Christmas tree on Christmas Day. It was fantastic. So it was, but overall, it was a nice break. That's
There
all I
you
got.
go.
There you go.
Kate?
Mine. God, I'm turning into cons. I have a bunch really quick though.
Oh, it's
So
after
I'm
the
going
break.
to start
We'll
out.
allow it.
Yep.
I'm a negative Nancy. I go to the negative. I'm a spiraler. So I'm trying to focus on the positive in 2020. And so many amazing stories came out of this break while we were gone. Out of just, it's so cliche, but like look for the helpers. So many of those stories came out over the break. The first one, I just wanted to talk really quick about Jay Withy. He's like in his late 20s, some guy in his 20s. All these people stuck on a highway outside Buffalo during the blizzard 2 days before Christmas. He breaks into an elementary school, leaves an apology note. He's like, I'm so sorry, everyone, that I did this. We'll make up for it later.
A la Kevin McAllister.
He borrows a snowblower from the school grounds, snowblows a path back to the cars, gets 24 people who were trapped in their cars and 2 dogs, gets them to the elementary school safely, finds them water, granola bars, apples, food. They're stuck there all the way through Christmas. They have the kids playing in the gym. They made sure all the kids were okay and happy. They took care of the elderly. And then this guy afterwards is like, and I'll still pay for the window, blah, blah, blah. Just an incredible story. The school said, by the way, you guys don't have to pay a dime. We're so glad that you were able to get here safely. Over 600 Air National Guard members left their own Christmases and holidays and whatever they had going on to get into Buffalo and help out with rescues and delivering supplies, all kinds of stuff. And then really quick, did you see the story out of Indianapolis about the twin babies?
Nope.
Oh.
This mom leaves her car running, and I judge all you want. An exhausted mom, 4-month-old twins. She leaves her car running to run into like a bodega store really quick, just for getting in and out of the car seats. If you're on your own and you're like, no, don't do it. There's no, but like, I get it.
Yeah,
she runs
carrying
into
in
the
two
store.
car seats, and you're getting like snow and jackets and all kinds of shit.
And if
You
you're
almost
on
want to
your
like
own-
go into the bodega and ask the person working, "Hey, can you go out and watch my kids while I shop for
Or
these
call
few
them,
things
bring
they
me
need?"
a Pepsi out here. I'm
Yeah.
thirsty.
There have been
Exactly.
times where I've wanted to call the restaurant and be like, "Can you please just bring it out to my car for me because I can't."
I bet they
if
would.
I wake
though.
him,
They
I bet
probably
I bet they
would.
would. You're right. But like I get it. She runs into the store and a woman hops in the front seat and steals the car. These are 4-month-old twin babies. Okay. One of the babies is found. An immediate huge manhunt goes out. One of the babies, the little boy, is found on a sidewalk. Remember, this was during the cold snap, freezing
Jeez.
cold. The other, the baby girl, is still missing. These two women in Indianapolis recognize the image of the lady on the news, and they're like, "Oh my God, we saw her earlier today. We got her phone number. They bought like a toy off her or something in a parking lot, like people, sell in the cities, like whatever." And they had her phone number, so they call her and they're like, "Can we meet up again? We want to see if you have like any other toys or whatever we can buy." So they meet up with her and they're like, "Oh my God, it's definitely her." They sneak a photo of her. They send it to the police. They keep her calm and don't let on that they know anything. They end up getting her arrested. She leaves behind a bus ticket. They still can't find the baby girl. They go to every single bus stop looking for the stolen car. They refused to give up. And the police didn't even believe them at first. They're like, "Oh, okay, keep looking." So they find this car with just enough snow on it that they're like, this has to be about 2 hours worth of snow. They've been gone for 2 hours. Like, they did this sleuthing work. They
Jeez.
dust off the car, and there's the baby girl inside this freezing car. They saved her life.
Wow.
So, like, and it was two just random ass women who said, "We're not going to stop till we find this baby."
And how would you even pay it? Like, I never pay attention to
Dude.
what's going on in the news. Like,
No.
Yeah.
just look it up,
Yep.
and you happen to remember that too. Like, just a person that you met once.
Dude, I was reading so many people in India stopped what they were doing to go out and try and find this baby and the detective work that they did. And then finally, I traveled to Arkansas and back on my own with my son and had two of the biggest meltdowns he has ever had. Because he's hitting that age where, and the one was in the baggage line. All the kiosks went down at American.
Wait, I need to preface this. Imagine if you've been listening to this show, how nice and how just kind, and Kate doesn't want anybody to go out of their way, doesn't want to inconvenience somebody, says sorry more than any person I've met in my entire life, tenfold. So all of that, and then this happened to Kate.
And I'm in the line. I have the huge bag. All the American Airlines kiosks went down. The line to drop your bag off was at an estimated hour. Okay? And I'm with a toddler who wants to run around.
Oh, that's the bag? Ugh.
The baggage. And and I thought I had arrived plenty early. Like, I'm really good about that now with airports. Nope. I'm standing in the line. I only have one arm to hold him. He's freaking out. He's clawing at my face. He's putting his hand in my mouth. He's hitting. He's biting. And there was literally, I bet people were looking and be like, "That's a garbage mom." I'm telling you, when you're in it, there's like nothing you can do. Like, there was literally, it's not like I can stop him and do a teaching moment and be like, "That's not what we do," right? Like, my man's was gone. He was gone. So many people went out of their way to try and help me, to try and distract him, to tell me, "It's okay, Mom, you're doing a great job." Like, I almost like tear up when I'd say. And then again, when I got on the plane for the second flight, he was just so done. The stewardesses and the whatever you call them now, they came
Flight
up. They were
attendants, yeah.
Flight attendants.
yeah, the 1950s. The broads came
Pan
up.
Am with their tits.
But they were blowing up gloves as balloons. They were dancing for him. The guy next to me was a college kid. He was like, "He can kick me in all you want. It don't bother me none. I got nieces and nephews." Like,
Dance
everything
for
you
me,
see,
clowns.
everything you see on the news, and like, is people going crazy on airplanes and people being annoyed at moms and babies. Not a single soul seemed annoyed at us. Nobody. I'm sure people were, and I get it. And I kept being like, "I'm trying my best here, guys. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm trying."
That's not happen if Cash is an Uggo too. Like,
Yeah,
he's
it
an
helps he's
Uggo.
cute.
Yeah. I was so glad he was
But
cute.
it's not like, I think most normal people just appreciate that it's not like you got on the plane and like flipped the switch. It's like, "All right, Cash, start to act up." Like, you didn't want this. You would want him
It's
to just sit there
immensely
quietly.
more painful for the parents.
Yeah.
Immensely.
Oh my God.
Whoever's
I had
taking
sweat.
the baby hates it more than anyone.
Sweat circle through my back. There's no stress sweat like that. I stunk by the time I got. But anyway, all that is to say, it's just a reminder that people are so good people are so good, and it's good to turn off your phone and stop paying attention to all that stuff. And when you look at reality and the real world and real regular ass people, oh my God, people are so overwhelmingly good. And that's just kind of the message I wanted to start this new year, this new season of ZBT off with. Especially with military stuff, it's so easy to get sucked into the negative and the rough stuff. But oh my God, people are just so good. So that's all for me. Sorry, that was really long.
Never would have thought the episode back from this break that the airlines would be getting. Like never would have.
Shout out American was so
My
kind.
goodness, because I had a different experience. My mom came into town Christmas Day. She left.
Ooh.
She left Jacksonville and then flew into.
Oh yeah, because Southwest was melting. You're right.
She was on Southwest. She was on that airline, and she was supposed to go to Jacksonville. She ended up having to drive 3 hours to Orlando to get on a plane there because my nephew and my kid have wanted to play together and have like a week together forever. And so we finally made that happen where he came with my mom. So everybody was super excited. My mom ended up, her travel day was like 17 hours. She ended up having to change her flight from Orlando to Houston, Houston to Austin. We were going to drive to Austin to get her. She didn't get in till like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And then she had to go to her hotel and pick her up. It was crazy, man. All the while. I had the fried blue just dripping off of. Gonna take them to the farmer's market. So all the while, I had in this break. Listen, I had 4 kidney stones that I passed.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I forgot about all your ailments. Oh my God, that's right.
4 kidney stones. The day I passed the last one, the day I go out, and one of the things that Annalise bought me a huge bag of those gummy nerds that have like they're amazing.
Those are your new jam.
Yeah, there's my new jam.
Why is he getting kidney stones?
So, yeah, that's probably true, Kate. So I go
40-year-old man eating gummy nerds. Go ahead.
I go to this like wine rack we have in our bedroom that I keep like snacks on. And I'm going out and I'm kind of like dancing back into our room, like getting ready to watch Jeopardy with my big bag of gummies. And I'm like, hell yeah. And I come in there, I'm running into the room or quickly walking. And my foot hits the door jamb harder than I've ever hurt before, because my foot, my heel, I was wearing slippery socks. My heel struck the wood floors, and it was like I was wearing Swiffers on my feet. I went up into the air. I felt like I was up there for an hour. I came down, and my wife and I instantly start cracking up, like we're laughing hard as shit. I knew I had like fell hard on my shoulder, that my foot hurt. And I was like, whoa, because the way that I fell was just outrageous. I looked down, my toe had already started turning gray. And I look at it, and it's like bent to the side real bad. And I was like, I think I broke my toe. And so I had to go into the hospital. The day I went to the emergency room 3 times. Wow. I probably haven't gone 3 times in 10 years. And then today, Annalise has an eardrum issue where she had to go to the doctor, and Cardi had to go to the doctor. The whole break was a shit show, like all the way across the board for us. I'm glad to be back at work.
Honestly, me too. There was nothing relaxing about this break. I'll say that. It was wonderful. It was great, but nothing relaxing about it.
Nothing at all. Other than that, it was pretty standard Christmas. It was nice to hang out with my family and do all that kind of stuff. But I'm glad to be back here. We'll see you next time. It's on the retreat.